We've all seen those crazy videos of ski lines. In this video, we will teach you the best tips and tricks to avoid these lines so you don't get stuck in one of these. Something to note before we get into this is that ski maps in Europe are different than ones in North America. In this video, we will cover ski maps in North America and not the ones in Europe. As you can see here, the one in Zermatt is different than something that you would see in North America. Let's first start off with how to get out of the base quicker. Let's take a look at Park City's trail map. There are 3 out-of-base lift options: Payday, Crescent, and Eagle. Most people flood to Payday and Crescent because they are both high-speed options which access major terrain areas. But most people forget about is Eagle. You can ride up Eagle, then take King Kong up. This will get you about just as high up, but usually quicker. Let's go to Steamboat for a second. Most people will gravitate to the Wild Blue Gondola because it is new, and they think that it can take them to the top of the mountain very fast. This leads to lines. People often forget that you can go up to Steamboat Gondola, then Sundown Express to get to the same place quicker if there is a line at the Wild Blue Gondola. Let's go to Winter Park so you can try it for yourself. Find the main out-of-base lift option, then find an alternative to it. The gondola is the main out-of-base lift, while Ranger or Gemini to Explorer can be a great alternative. Let's move to our next point, which is the mid-mountain choke points. Let's go to Keystone for an example. Montezuma gets flooded because there are a lot of blues in Schoolmarm that flow right into Montezuma. The way to avoid this is that you can actually ski down into Jaybird and then to Ina's Way, then ride Summit Express or gondola back up. This ties into our next point, which is busy terrain pods. There are usually 2 conditions for busy terrain pods. First, there is almost always a high-speed option in that area. Second is that there is usually beginner and or intermediate terrain, which usually consists of greens, blues, and sometimes blacks. This terrain pod in Breckenridge gets very busy. Let's check for these 2 conditions which I just mentioned. Let's first check if there's a high-speed option. Mercury and the Beaver Superchair are both high-speed options. Condition number 1 is checked. Let's check for condition number 2. There are a ton of blues in this area, so that checks condition number 2. Let's try the same thing at Copper Mountain. Let's take a look at this terrain area at Copper Mountain. This terrain area usually gets very busy. Let's check for both of these conditions. Let's check for condition number 1. Is there a high-speed lift option? Yes, the Timberline Express is a high-speed lift option. Now let's check for the second condition, which is there beginner and or intermediate runs? Yes, there are a lot of blues in that area. Now let's see if you can find the busiest terrain pod at Crested Butte. The busiest terrain pod in Crested Butte is the Paradise Lift area. It checks both conditions of a high-speed lift, and the Paradise Express serves a lot of intermediate terrain. There are a few little bonus things that I'd like to talk about. The first is getting out of certain terrain zones. Let's go to Vail so I can explain what I'm talking about. Blue Sky Basin is usually not so busy at Vail, but at the end of the day, everybody there floods to Teacup Express because it's the most direct way to get out of Blue Sky Basin. A great alternative to that is getting out of Blue Sky Basin before everybody tries to get out at the same time. Another little bonus thing I would like to add is on-mountain facilities. On-mountain facilities can get very busy depending on when you go. There are 3 on-mountain facilities at Keystone that can get very busy around lunchtime. A way to avoid busy on-mountain facilities is simply going earlier to avoid them. Well, that's about all for this one. I hope you found this video useful. Please like, subscribe, and leave your comments down below, and I'll see you on the slopes. Bye-bye.